Just because your features are bigger, that doesn't make you masculine. Hey sis, welcome to my channel. You can already tell from the title what this video is going to be about, so I'm going to get right into it. Growing up, there were certain insecurities that I had which were specifically connected to being a young black girl. And I'm going to list each one of these one by one, and then in the end give some advice and tips. Firstly, features, facial features. Black people in general, we can be known to have bigger features, bigger lips, bigger nose, just, everything bigger hair, even though that's not a facial feature. And this is something that I was never conscious of or aware of. I never knew that my nose was big or that my lips was big until certain people made comments and I started seeing certain things online. As for my lips, I used to have this one friend in secondary school, and she used to always joke and say, oh, you and your big lips, you and your lips, you and your lips. And she would continually say it. And as you know, that saying, there's some truth to every joke. And that is actually when I started becoming conscious and aware of, oh, my lips are actually, I guess bigger than a lot of the people around me. And for context, I'm a Ugandan girl, East African, ethnicity-wise. However, I've spent majority of my life in the UK, and it is when I had moved to the UK that these comments started, coming in. I remember I used to see certain pictures online where people would put a picture of like a fish or something with big lips, and people would mock. And then as for my nose, again, like with my lips, I never knew that my nose was big. Like, never once when I was growing up did I look in the mirror and think, oh, my nose is big. And I was only aware of it when others pointed it out. It wasn't actually said to me directly, but I'd always hear it said to like black girls in general on social media when people would mock and make certain comments, which is crazy to me because, a nose is a nose. Like, I don't understand this vain world we live in where people feel the need to, pick out each and every individual thing on a person's face, The hair. I've got natural 4C hair, as you can tell. And growing up, I hated it. I wish that my hair was straight like a lot of the people around me, or if not straight, I wish that it was at least maybe curly like some of the mixed girls. Like, I thought that my hair was ugly. I've been told that my hair makes me look like a boy, that I look like I've been electrocuted, that I look crazy, and all kinds of mad comments that were specifically linked to my hair. I used to always, even compare to other people and think, how comes my hair isn't as long as theirs? Why does mine stop at my shoulders, whereas their hair is growing there? And now, the skin, I feel like that's even the main one because I have even put the word black in the title. All of you, I'm sure, watching, you're familiar with the word colorism. It's discrimination based specifically on skin tone, skin color, and it's often done with those within the same racial group. I'm sure you guys already know the hierarchy and the debates and the division where people are talking about, light skin girls versus dark skin girls and brown skin. In terms of my skin, the issue was, I guess an issue of colorism, being made to feel like, my skin is too dark, it's not good enough, the over masculinization. I remember whenever a black girl did something that anyone didn't like, I would see that immediately she would be compared to a man. Like, even in the UK, I've been seeing it circulating where certain people are referring to black girls as UK beasts, comparing black girls to any male. There's this big WWE wrestler, I'll put a picture here, big hench, black man, and I've seen it too many times where people would compare a black girl to him. They'll be like, oh, she looks like him. No woman wants to be compared to a man. And you can argue that this can happen to anyone, but I've seen this specifically done as if it's targeted towards black girls, making us feel like we're not, feminine enough. And even if it's not comparing us to men physically, it's, the stereotypes and the demeanor. Oh, black girls are rude. Black girls, they have an attitude. Like, things that are character traits that literally any race could have, for some reason people feel to hone in and especially highlight it when it comes from a black girl. Sometimes I feel like black girls are not given the same grace. Let's say a woman from another race got angry, they'll say, oh, she's fierce. I like a woman that can stand up for herself. And it's almost centralized, shall I say? But when it's a black girl, ew, no, she's aggressive, oh, she's rowdy, oh, this is why I don't like black girls. It's just so annoying. Like, before someone even gets to know you, in the back of their head, they already have this misconception of you. Like, there's been people, like especially this one girl, who before she got to know me and speak to me, whatever, like in an old school, she told me, oh, Maria, when I first saw you, I thought you were a bitch. Bear in mind, I never spoke to her. I'm literally silent. I keep to myself. But because I'm literally just there minding my business, and she had this assumption of me, which doesn't make any sense, you know? Or I could just be relaxing, like, you know how I'm looking at the camera now, just chill, like my rested face like this. And then people say, oh, you look so angry. Why do you look so angry? Like, what do you mean, why do I look angry? Like, this is just my face. I feel like I have to act a certain way, like be excessively smiley, like and happy, just to avoid all these, you know, racial tropes. Again, links to skin tone. Hyperpigmentation. As a black girl, sometimes certain areas of our body can be darker than other areas. On my face, there's a certain section here, like a streak that's a bit darker, or sometimes it could be like my cheek. I don't know if you can see it, or like armpits. Like my armpits are darker than the rest of my body. My knees, between my thighs. I used to think that there's something wrong with me, and I look up different remedies, or how do I lighten this, how do I lighten that? And unfortunately, often it would lead me to bleaching sites. Like, I'm not willing to bleach my skin, and I've tried all these different remedies and stuff, but it doesn't work. Those are the main key insecurities. And I know a lot of black girls can relate. Features, being insecure about your features, your ethnic features, insecurity concerning your hair, and things to do with skin tone, your race, and hyperpigmentation. And like I said, many of these I became aware of once I started consuming lots of social media from a young age. And I feel like this can be very damaging when you're especially a little girl and you're constantly seeing these things, or black girl this, black girl that, or these other races are prettier. It's just awful. Now that I've grown up, I'm 21 now, I can assure you, things change when you get older. Some of you may have been mocked for having big lips and stuff, but now the new trend is big lips. Now people are injecting all kind of things to have. It's crazy. Like, don't be insecure, because society is always changing their minds. Things are different in real life. I was consuming so much media that was telling me, oh, black girls are ugly, or they're not their preference, they're not that person's type. I found a boy attractive, but then in my head I'll be thinking, oh, no, I'm a black girl. And even beyond being a black girl, I'll say, oh no, I'm dark skinned, so I won't even pay him mind. Like, I'm sure he doesn't like me. I feel like it can cause a victim mindset, in that even in situations where race is not involved, you may end up seeing race. I believe there's a word for it called confirmation bias. And should slightest inconvenience or something happen, in your mind you'll say, oh yeah, it's because I'm black. But it may not be, you know? And the insecurities that I had before, I don't have them now. I love my skin now. I love my skin tone. I love my melanin. I think it's beautiful, especially in the sun. What was I insecure about? And my hair, that one is, I can't lie, still a work in progress. But you know what? I feel like I've just got to be grateful for what God has given me. And if you're watching this, that's a message for you too. We don't choose our features. We don't choose how we're meant to look. This was God. God chose my features, my skin, my hair, everything. And you know, it's even very disrespectful. Like, I've seen many black women go and get, like, you know, nose surgeries. My nose tells my ancestry, my history. Like I said, I'm Ugandan. There's certain people that could look at me, and just from looking at me would be able to tell that I'm Ugandan. Much deeper than features, it tells our culture, our background. There's nothing to be ashamed of. You are so, so beautiful. And the insecurities that you grow up having, you'll one day grow up and it won't even be a crossing thought in your mind anymore. Don't be insecure. You look good. Your skin is perfect. With the hyperpigmentation, it's completely normal to be darker in certain areas. I'm not really the type of person to use these terms. You know how some people refer to dark-skinned black girls as like chocolate and stuff. But let me just use that analogy anyway. I'm literally the same color as Nutella. Oh my God, this is so weird. I'll say it anyway. So with your skin, with the hyperpigmentation, your skin can look like it has different variations of chocolate. Who doesn't like chocolate anyway? I sometimes don't say it because I don't want it to come across as a fetish, but whatever. Your beautiful skin, you have different variants of chocolate. You can have like brown skin chocolate on your face, and then maybe your armpits are like a darker chocolate, your knees, like, I hope that made you feel better in some type of way. But please don't be insecure. If you're a little black girl watching this, just know that you're not alone. I've spoken to countless black girls and all of them could relate. And if by the way you're insecure specifically about having a bigger nose, I remember I was watching a video about people having smaller noses, and to my shock, there were certain people commenting who had smaller noses, and they were literally commenting saying, oh, I wish my nose was bigger, I struggle breathing sometimes, I struggle so much, I wish I had larger nostrils, I envy those with larger nostrils. That's crazy. The thing that you're insecure about, someone else wishes they have it. So whilst I'm here wishing, oh, my nose is smaller for vanity reasons, there's someone out there with a small nose who wants a bigger nose, not because of anything to do with vanity, but just so it could be easier for them to breathe. But yeah, that's it, girls. Don't be insecure. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. God loves you. How you look, your skin, everything was intentional. That's exactly how the Lord made you to be. I hope that helped in some way. Bye, girl.